I get asked all the time if the things that I make out at the grill can be transferred to making in the oven. The answer is almost always yes, and today we're going to be making one of those things. We're going to be making non-smoked shotgun shells. So you might have seen a video I did where I did smoked shotgun shells. They're a very popular appetizer. A lot of people make them. We are going to be doing an indoor version of that today, which is perfect because it's cold and rainy outside, and while I could grill and smoke out there, I can't film. So we're going to be doing this today. First thing we need to do is get our filling ready, and we're starting with 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. I softened this by just leaving it out for about an hour at room temperature. If you need to soften it more, you can always, put it over a bowl of warm water. Some people like to microwave it. I prefer to do the warm water. To this, I'm adding 8 ounces of shredded pepper jack cheese. I shredded this the other day. Also, 8 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. Finally, we're going to be adding 12 ounces of pork chorizo. This is fresh pork chorizo, uncooked, because during the cooking process as you do this gets cooked just like it would out on the grill if you smoke it. Now we're going to get in here with our hands and mix. I guess you could use a mixer, a stand mixer or something like that. I don't think I've ever done that. I just always prefer using my hands when mixing stuff like this. And really what we want here is a fairly good blend, so you don't have one area that's all cheddar cheese, one area that's all pepper jack cheese, chorizo over here. We got to get everybody friendly in here so they know each other well. That's looking pretty good. Let's get our manicotti shells and our bacon out here. So what you use to make smoked shotgun shells, or just shotgun shells like we're doing today, we're not smoking them, is manicotti. Just regular old manicotti noodles that are hard. They're not softened. Now, some people like to parboil these for maybe a minute to get them soft first, but the method I use is called the day before method, where we fill these with the filling, wrap them with bacon, and then they go in the refrigerator covered overnight. That way all the fats and all the liquid in the filling and the bacon helps soften the shell before we cook it. By the time it's done, it is like a perfect al dente. That's at least what I've found. Now to fill these, we just get a bunch of our filling and push it in each end. I like to kind of go from one end, get about halfway, and then go from the other. I also like to take a little bit of the filling in my hand and just sort of roll it into a tube shape to help get it going in there a little bit. And then you just sort of use your finger like a plunger to get it in there. And if I get a little bit on the outside, don't worry about it. And I think you can maybe see that there's a little bit of translucence here, so you can kind of see it to the center where we're about halfway. More of our filling here. Yeah, doing this with this chorizo filling is going to be delicious. A lot of traditional smoked shotgun shells use something like Italian sausage or bratwurst. I've done that and it's good, but the chorizo, I just love chorizo. That's one right there, looking good. Let's fill another one. One other sort of forgiving thing about this is if maybe, let's say, your shell cracks a little bit, this filling acts like glue, so it'll help hold it together, and then at the end we're going to wrap bacon around it. Kind of like a bandage if your shell cracks. And you want good consistency in the filling here. You don't want gaps. You don't want like a big air pocket in the center if you can help it. About halfway there. Get some more of our filling. Make sure we push it in there. That's looking good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of these, then we'll move on to wrapping them with bacon. So here are our filled manicotti. There are 14. The package contains 14. I don't know why it doesn't do 16, but there was just enough. I could have done 2 more, and I'll have to get some more manicotti tonight. I'll just do a separate batch of a couple of them. But one thing, when you're filling this, if you're going like I was showing from one side and then the other, if you feel when you start that second side like you're just creating an air pocket in the center, it just keeps pushing the other side out, it's okay to keep going just right through that first side and keep pushing it. Use your finger until you get all the way to the other side, and then just take a little bit, finish it off there. But now let's get these wrapped in some bacon. So I've got some kind of thick medium cut bacon here, And one of the things which really helps is kind of stretch it a little bit before you start wrapping. That just gives you a little bit more to cover it with. If you need to use more than one piece, don't worry about that. Go ahead and cut it a little bit if you need to. I'm just going to start at one end, work my way around. There's no right way, no wrong way. It's all going to taste good in the end, just like that. Let's do another one. Make sure our bacon is stretched out as much as we can. I like to start with sort of the fatter side of the bacon and end with the thinner end. That thinner end seems to have more of that pliability and it'll wrap and hold better. That's what I've found, at least. It's like that. And look, if you don't get full coverage there, do not worry. This is going to be great. All right, I'm going to finish wrapping them, then we'll get some seasoning on them and get them into the refrigerator. Here are our filled manicotti wrapped in bacon, soon to be shotgun shells. Well, soon tomorrow. But right now I want to hit them with a rub. And you can use any rub you like for seasoning on here or none at all. I'm using Uncle Dave's Sweet Rub. And I really do want to get good coverage all the way around. So we're just going to pick them up, give them a dusting. Very fortunate in this whole process, I didn't have any cracks, which is good. But again, if there's cracks, it's going to be okay. The stuff inside is like glue and the bacon is like a bandage. When we cook these up tomorrow, we're also going to be adding a barbecue sauce partway through the cook. Last one right here. Everybody arranged on here. Doesn't matter if they touch at this stage. This is really just to help get that shell softened. If you missed any spots, just give it a little dusting. All right, let's cover this with some plastic wrap. We're not trying to cover it tightly. We just want to maintain and save some of the moisture there. All right, this is going in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow, we will cook this up and have some great shotgun shells. All right, our filled and bacon wrapped manicotti have been in the refrigerator overnight now. We're roughly at about 21, 22 hours right now. And we're going to take this off. And I'm also going to transfer this rack of them into a fresh tray because there's a lot of that rub underneath here and I don't want that in the oven. It's just going to start smoking. Now, what you should do is you should preheat your oven to 275 degrees. Now, normally I would be doing this outside on the grill. That's a different kind of heat. There's a lot more air moving in there, air through the bottom and out the top vents. What I like to do, and if you don't have it, it's okay, you don't need it. I put my oven on convection. So let's get our wrap off here. And just so I can show you how this sort of pre-softens, I'm doing this day before method. Imagine, if you will, if you took a toothpick and you tried to shove it through one of those manicotti shells, you would just have to keep pushing and pushing and eventually it would shatter. So watch this. There's resistance, but it goes through. So those shells are pre-softened now. It's almost like if you had taken the time to parboil them. I just don't like that method of parboiling them like for a minute or so. To me, it makes them harder to fill because then they become softer and then they have a tendency to tear. Maybe I'm just not good at it, but I prefer this method. So let's go ahead and transfer our rack to a new tray. And I just want to arrange these on here to make sure everybody has some good airflow. If there's a little touching, that's all right. They're friendly. Now these are going to go for about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to turn them and they're going to go another 30 minutes. And when we turn them that second time, we're going to put a little bit of barbecue sauce on that upper side. We're going to brush it. Then they'll go for probably another 15 minutes or so and we'll check temperature because remember, this center needs to be 165 degrees. We have raw pork in there with that chorizo. It should be fine at that time. If not, we'll go a little further. And if they go beyond that, it's okay. The other thing is we want these to be tender. Now, if you like those shells really soft, you might need to go a little further. I like mine to be just al dente. And the bacon, the same thing. If you like your bacon super crispy, It's going to be a little tough to get it super, super crispy with this method, but you will be able to get it crispy. I don't like mine super crispy. I like mine floppy, but this doesn't lend itself to a floppy bacon. So I'm not going to get acceptable floppy state here. It's going to be beyond that, but still not overly crispy for my liking. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in the oven, and I'll see you back here in about 30 minutes when we give it a turn. All right, we've been going for 30 minutes here, starting to get some color on here. We're going to turn these, and then we're going to get them back in. Another 30 minutes, we'll get them out and sauce them. Getting some nice melty oozage. These are going to be good. All right, these are going back in. See you back here in 30 minutes. Let me tell you, these are smelling good even though they're not done yet. I'm going to turn these back to the original side before we sauce them. Yes, we have more oozage. That's all right. That's to be expected. I'd rather overfill these than underfill them. And again, remember, if you like your bacon crispier, you're going to want to go probably a little bit higher temperature, but I don't like my bacon super crispy, as I mentioned. Some barbecue sauce on here. And pick your favorite barbecue sauce. I'm using a sort of a homemade one from Somerset Farms. It's a real small production. Oop, got a little bit there. Sort of a small farm stand. With these a quick brush here. Don't need to get both sides. This is just for a little extra flavor. And if you got some that have a little too much on there, just move it to one that doesn't have as much. Really quickly, let's do a little tenderness check. Yeah, those are feeling really good. All right, these are going back in for another, let's say 20 minutes. Then we'll get them out here and have a taste. There are our shotgun shells. I wish I could convey the smell to you. Let me just tell you, it's really good, but these look delicious. Gonna get a quick temp here. Right to the center. If you can see that, we're at 171. So let's go ahead and plate these up and have a taste. I'll pick a few here. Now with these, I really love to cut them in half to eat them. In fact, they're great to, say, cut in half, and then if you want to freeze them, they're easy to reheat. They make great make-ahead appetizers. Let's see, which one are we going to take here? Why don't we just take the top one? Let's turn this around so we can see a little better. Cut right in the center. Oh yeah, that is looking good. These are kind of lava hot right now, so I'm taking a risk, but I'm willing to do it for you. Cheers. Yeah, these are worth it. Wow, so good. To me, this method gets the shells perfectly al dente, right at that sort of crossing point between too hard and too soft. I don't like them mushy, but if you like them softer, you could parboil them for, say, a minute, 90 seconds before you stuff them. I always find you run the risk of them tearing then when you fill it, but you got to kind of practice with it and see what's the best method for you, but the flavor in this is unbeatable.